Welcome to Back to School Night. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here to learn a little bit more about what your student goes through on a daily basis. So, just a little bit about myself. I was born in Miami, and here's my family. They still actually live over there, even though my dad was in the Air Force, and so I grew up in Northern California. Then I found wonderful San Diego. I used to work corporate after college, and we had a project down here in San Diego, and didn't move with my family when they moved to Miami. San Diego, Miami, I'll take San Diego. And then here is my wonderful husband, Polly, and he is from Australia. And so that's us visiting the Australian capital. So, what I want to talk to you about today is some of the expectations that I have for the class. Definitely want to give you some insight into the flipped classroom technique and talk about how the grades are structured, and then give you some strategies for success. So in your handout, you'll see some of the expectations that I have. Definitely homework every single day. And one of the reasons I do that is for consistency. I've had so many parents at parent conferences say, they always say that you don't have homework. And so I decided, you know what, we're going to have homework every single day, even if it's just to get a parent signature, to do 20 minutes of exercise. And so again, it's just to build that consistency so they can't use that excuse of, oh, we don't have any homework. And I like to lay out that expectation of homework every day is just because expectations are good to have in general. And so this is me over here, and I was disappointed. I did not get my expectations met when I ordered a pancake. It came out to be maybe like 6 inches in diameter. So I was pretty disappointed with that. So again, it's good to have expectations. One of the things that I have noticed is that some of the students don't know their multiplication facts, and that's really going to hurt them a lot. This is something that they need to know automatically. And so we call it with automaticity, where need to get that set of flashcards, and just even if it's 5-10 minutes every night, they'll build that skill, because unfortunately we don't have time in 6th and 7th grade math to spend on how to multiply. So that's something that they definitely need to know, and it's only going to help them in the end. And math needs to be a priority. One of the things that you'll be hearing about, maybe in the media, even President Obama mentioned it, it was the STEM. And what that means is science, technology, engineering, and math. And those are really the jobs that are going to be out there in the future. And so, one of the things that I would hope that you emphasize is how important math is. And I know I kind of like to think about it as a brain workout. And we definitely don't want to say, oh, I was never good at math. It's okay that you're not good at math either. And it's about working through that problem and really building that endurance that they don't give up. And your support is definitely going to be needed in that. And then I do have an expectation for communication with the parent portal email. I would appreciate if you guys email me any questions, and then like the ESLERS, the expected school-wide learning results, because this is really going to be needed, especially the self-directed learner. The way that the education is going, I feel it's more of this blended model, and I'll talk about that with the flipped classroom. But the students are really going to be the ones responsible for their own education. And sometimes that's hard for them to get motivated, especially if they're going through some hard times. So definitely want to focus on that self-directed learner. So let's talk a little bit about this flipped classroom. So here's an image that I found, and basically it's going from this traditional model where I'm at the front of the classroom giving a lecture. And then the students go home and work out of their textbook, and hopefully they have someone there to help them, but most times they don't. Most families have both parents working, and it's hard and frustrating for students just to sit there and not get the answers. So what the flipped classroom does is I record these videos, and it allows them to listen at their own pace. They can pause it, they can write notes as slow as they want, as hopefully if they writing it fast, it's neat, but then they bring that information into class. And then that gives them a foundation for us to work from. And then from there, they have their classmates and myself to help them with the problems. And it really is such, when students are focused and on point, it can be and it has been extremely productive. And like I tell them, it's like, I want to help you. And so it's really not fun for me to just be up here lecturing every single day and having them take notes. I like to work with them on the problems and to identify what some of their challenges are. So that's been definitely one of the benefits for me. And I hope that throughout the year we can keep that communication going and what's working and what's not as far as the videos. So this information was in your syllabus, but let's just talk a little bit. I'll highlight some of the key pieces. And again, it's the main concept is for the technique is used to increase the amount of time that I can interact with them in the classroom. There's one of me, 30 of them. So that's not a very good ratio. But if I'm not at the front lecturing, I'm able to walk around. They're able to ask me questions. And so we talk about these content videos, and most of the time I will be making them. There might be some that I get from other resources, but most of the time I'll make them. And then they'll take their notes and then they'll bring those to class. This online quiz, this is going to be something that I'm going to start implementing. For the last couple of weeks, I wanted to get a good sense of who was watching the videos, what barriers we were having, and this is going to be just an extra minute that they would basically a form that they would fill out. So I know for sure that they watched it and just didn't copy their notes from a friend. And then the third thing I want to talk about is technology access. I have that on campus before and after school. And I have had students come on a regular basis in the morning. The only morning I'm not available is Wednesdays. And then stay after school so they can watch the video with me. I can help them with the notes, answer any questions that they have throughout the video. But again, technology is not mandatory. So I want to make sure there's no anxiety about that. I just need to make sure that if they're not watching the video at home for whatever reason, that they end up coming to class the next morning or before school at 7 and watch the video with me so they don't get behind with the class. And then, so they watch the video at home, or they would come to school, they would and watch it in the morning. And then we would come and work on the assignment that I used to call homework. And so any work out of the textbook, I'm going to start calling that book work. And we work together in class. And so it's a really productive environment, and I've really enjoyed the last couple of weeks with them. So let me talk to you a little bit about the process of what they would go through. And so how grades are assessed is we have 50% accuracy, test and quizzes. And then 30% is going to be authentic assessment. And so I like to think about anything that's not directly out of the textbook and is not a test or a quiz is going to be considered an authentic assessment. And that's just a different way for them to demonstrate their knowledge. 20% is going to be on completion. And the thing about homework is I'm looking for effort here. And so I don't want to ever, and my effort obviously would be for them to watch the video and to take notes, but just to make sure that they're being held accountable for completing the work in a timely fashion. And then just to let you know, I did put on the parent portal that grades will change as more assignments are added. So it might be low right now, and then as we get more assignments, it should be going up. And then I do try my best to keep the assignments in the parent portal up to date. But however, you're going to want to check my website for the daily assignments. I don't put every single homework assignment in the parent portal, but if you want to know what they're doing on a regular basis, you're definitely going to want to check the website. And then let's just talk about some strategies for success. So you have your handout there. Definitely check their agendas on a regular basis. You'll see my little smiley face there. That's just making sure that there's no excuses. And even if your computer broke and they're not able to watch the video, just give them a little note telling them that. And then hopefully I'll see them at 7 in the morning to watch the video. And if not, we'll find a workaround for that. Help them with their organizational skills. And this is something that it's a skill to learn how to be organized. Some are better than others. Some of my peers are definitely better than me. But it's something that needs to be developed and worked on. And then I like to encourage students to be strategic learners. And what I mean by that is having a strategy on how they approach a problem. So am I going to draw a picture? Am I going to act it out? Am I going to refer to a similar problem that I've done before? So that way they go in and they have something that they can pull from and not just say, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm not going to do it. I'm done. And so that's like that encouragement that they need is because they need to know not to give up on math. Because again, being good at math, you don't have to love it, but you just have to be good at it. And I can't tell you the doors that are going to open for them if they just persevere and push through that urge to stop. So definitely thank you so much for being here. And again, it's going to be two-way communication, and I hope that you feel free to email me and call any questions that you have. And so just to let you know, I had some people questioning what I was eating. Is that pizza? And since my family lives in Miami, every time I visit, I'm addicted to the Cortadito coffees, the Cuban coffee, and then got to get a guava pastry. So I hope you guys have a good night, and I look forward to a wonderful school year.